Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach, along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. You know we got a big show for y'all today, but when we got a big show, we always got to have my man Byron here, and we got hard war bangers in the building, man. Listen,
yes, sir.
We've been doing a lot of shows. Byron has been going crazy about all the ducking and stuff going on in fights.
Yes, I have.
But this is not the show for that.
No.
We have two titans, two heavyweight. This is a heavyweight bout that we've been waiting to see. Oleksandr Usyk, 37 years old, 22-0, 14 knockouts. IBO World Heavyweight Champ, WBC World Heavyweight Champion, WBO World Heavyweight Champion, coming off a thrilling victory against his rematch opponent, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, who's 34-1-4, 24 knockouts. Only true loss was to Usyk. The first fight was such a classic, they had to run it back. I'm talking about an epic fight. And now, part two, we all excited for. Byron, talk to me about this fight.
This is it. This is the lineal. I mean, this is for everything. This is the heavyweight championship. The first fight was an instant classic. Usyk definitely had a big round that I think kind of stole the fight, but I don't think it could get any even. I was just totally, first of all, I'm a fan of both of these fighters, so it's very hard to root for, the guy who I favor, but I favor Fury. But I thought that Usyk put on a clinic on the inside as far as his boxing combination. He's fighting a guy that's 7 foot. He's dominated on the reach, dominated on the height, but he still seemed like the bigger man in the latter part of that fight. So I am just super excited to see this fight. Can't wait for the result to be a lot different, but it should be a hell of a fight.
Absolutely. You brought it up. That was like a fight where at one moment you was like, it's leaning towards Fury. Then the other moment you was like Usyk. So it was a very even fight.
Yeah.
Hard war bangers.
Yes, yes.
Talk to me about part two, Usyk against the Gypsy King.
Man, I think Fury's probably, I think he's fired up from losing. You know what I mean? So what I see happening is he's back in the gym. He's back getting everything right. He's not leaving anything to chance this time. He has his strategy put together. I'm sure he has, his family in his corner. So it's like, from what I see, what I think Fury's going to do is, I don't think he's going to come out to just knock Usyk out. I think he's going to come out to show a master class of boxing.
Ooh, okay.
And I think he's just going to come out. He's going to do his best to outbox him and make the fight look easy, because that's what Fury's known for doing.
I disagree.
But
I think he tried in the first fight to outbox Usyk, and the biggest factor is the weight. The first fight, Fury comes in, he's 256. I'm sorry. Wilder won. I'm going back. I'm backtracking. Wilder won. Usyk goes in 256. And attempts.
Fury.
No, I'm not. I know what I'm talking about. I'm backtracking.
Okay. All right.
So we'll go back to Wilder versus Fury 1. I'm talking about weight. I think weight is the determining factor in this fight. Wilder won. He fights to a draw. Second fight, he says, what? I'm putting more weight on. This guy's smaller. I'm going to come in big boy, I'm going to bully him, and I'm going to go after it. In this first fight, I think he went after trying to outbox Usyk, because it was the build-up, it was who's going to be the better boxer. A lot of people say that Fury is a 7-foot Muhammad Ali, very loose, very, very, high ring IQ, great jab.
Crafty, yeah.
But he came into that fight at, I believe, 262. Which surprised a lot of people, because for the Ngannou fight, he was over 270. So I think when Fury comes into a fight at 277, close to 280, he is not fighting for a decision. He is fighting to sit on his punches, to grab, make you carry that weight, and kind of dominate dirty boxing on the inside. And when you try to get out, catch you with the jab. And if you look at the first fight, he was backing up a lot. And that's when I think he was trying to, I'm going to outbox him. I'm going to have this master class. But Usyk kept coming forward and was winning the exchanges on the inside. So I don't think that Fury can outbox Usyk. I really don't. I think the only way to beat Usyk is to go in there on bully. He's 6'3", and he's going to come in at what, 230? You come in 40 pounds bigger than him. You make him carry you. You grab him. Every time he tries to come in on a combination, you stop it, you grab, you make it muddy, and you catch him on the inside and catch him coming out.
All right. So, I mean, I still disagree because I say anytime when a heavyweight is coming in heavier than what he usually fights, that's really a reflection of his training camp. And don't get me wrong, I know it's the heavyweight division and their intention is to come in, in that division. But there's also a such thing as putting on too much weight that's eventually going to perfect your performance. And if it's anything that we know about Fury is that he moves a lot. He's a very active heavyweight. He throws a lot of jabs. So if you put that and then think about, okay, what advantage is it for him to come in heavier? It really don't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? And then he's going against a smaller guy. So it's not like, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I don't know. I see Tyson going back to using his distance and his timing to beat Usyk. Well, he almost got knocked all the way across the ring.
But peep this.
He did get knocked all the way across.
Right.
He comes into this fight. He comes into this fight at 262, right? Not to kind of curb off your point, but he comes into the fight at 262. He throws 30 jabs in the first, second, and third round. He doesn't get near 30 jabs again in the fight. I think the highest he hits at thrown is 22 in the 11th round. He doesn't land multiple, in the double digits in jabs at any point in the fight. And so I think, I understand what you're saying with the strategy that sometimes going up in weight kind of can be an anchor to what you're trying to do in the ring. But when you're fighting the Oleksandr Usyk, who is hard to put a jab on him, it's kind of like trying to box with him and move with him with a guy who can cut off the ring as good as he is. I think that's what hindered him in the first fight because he couldn't figure out how to get off on his offense. And so I think when he comes in heavier, if you look at what he said, that's why I brought up the Wilder, because he felt, even though that was a draw, he felt like he lost that first fight. That second fight, they went in they actually trained to be heavier. I'm going to be heavier. I'm going to sit on my punches and kind of invite him in. And a lot of people was like, oh, he keeps holding, he keeps doing this, but you don't know when he's holding, he gassed Wilder out because he's making him carry a damn near 300-pound man. So I think that, I totally understand your point, but I think if you go into a fight against Usyk to outbox him, you are going to lose.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
All right. So you know how you referred to the ref that was allowing Usyk.
Yes.
I mean not Usyk. Fury to hold Wilder. Yeah. Everyone's complaining like, what is he doing? What is going on? All right. So like for me personally, and not only personally, but as participant, when I see something like that, I don't think that that's like something to grade a fighter off of. I think that's something to grade an official off of to say, yo, that referee is slipping. You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't try to use that as an argument to say what's an advantage for a fighter or what's a disadvantage for a fighter, but rather to say, hey, he got one over in that fight.
I think it's a strategy. I think it's a strategic.
Every ref ain't gonna go for that.
And I truly understand. And I'm not saying to grab to the extent of where you're going to get penalized. But if you got a guy like Usyk that's walking you down, I mean, I watched that that first fight with Fury Usyk like 3 times today. And it was like, there are times in that fight where I'm like, grab him. He's too close. Right. When someone is that dominant on the inside, you gotta stop those combinations. You can't just let him get off a 3 punch combination and then try to out slick him and you just won't beat Usyk like that.
Well, here's the other thing.
I think you gotta grab him.
Here's the other thing too. That was the first fight, so now they both know what each other's bringing to the table. Yeah. So now this second fight is gonna be like, well, Fury, we already know what you did the first time. What you gonna do the second time? And Fury, he gets to look at Usyk and it's like, okay, that was everything in your toolbox. Yeah. So now they both working. They both got to go back to work. They both got to go back to school. They both in the lab right now.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, y'all got me fired up here. Adi, talk to me about this fight. You heard Harv, you heard Byron.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on this fight? What's your thought on the Gypsy King possibly getting revenge, maybe?
Maybe the Gypsy King. If he defeats Oleksandr Usyk, it would be the greatest victory of his career.
Okay.
Greater than his victory 9 years ago over Dr. Steelhammer, Vladimir Klitschko.
Facts.
And in a recent face-off interview, Tyson Fury indicated that he was going to be much more serious, much more focused this fight, and a lot less showboating, taunting, and goofing off. Okay. Because in the 6th round of that last fight, Tyson Fury stunned Usyk with a couple of right uppercuts.
He did.
He had Usyk hurt and on the run, and then Tyson Fury took his foot off the gas. He did not attempt to finish Usyk, and instead he started playing around, put his hands behind his back, started doing some taunting gestures. He thought he had it in the bag, and he let him off the hook, okay? And he let Usyk hang around, and then in the 8th round, Oleksandr Usyk bloodied Tyson Fury's nose with an overhand left, okay? Then in the 9th round, we saw something we've never seen before. I don't think we saw a lot of boxing matches. I've never seen this before in the 9th round when Oleksandr Usyk was knocking Tyson Fury around the ring, about to knock him out. He went up there about to knock him out in the corner, and then the referee, Mark Nelson jumped in there to prevent Usyk from at least knocking Fury down or knocking him out.
Then they called it a knockdown, though.
It was a knockdown.
Right.
But whenever you see a ref jump in there to stop a fighter from punching, usually that means the fight is over. Okay.
Right.
And so I was shocked that the fight wasn't over when Mark Nelson jumped in there. Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What are your like when you see something like that happen, and as a spectator, what do you think is going on? Like, do you look at what the ref did and say, "Man, that's dirty. That's a crazy advantage," or what do you see?
It's dirty because I was looking back because that really sparked my interest. Like when I saw Canelo, I forget the guy he was fighting, but the ref jumped in there. This is when Canelo was young. But I saw Sugar Ray Leonard. He was pummeling the Hitman. Or in the early 80s, he was
Tommy
Hearns. The Hitman Tommy Hearns. He had him on the ropes, landing body shots. The ref jumped in there, fight was over. Whenever I see a ref jump in there to stop someone from taking a beat down, that means the fight is over. So every time but this it's dirty. I feel like it was corrupt.
So
I feel like it was dirty.
Are you insinuating, or would you insinuate and go so far to say, you know what? I think maybe the promoters behind this. Like, who do you think could be behind the referee doing? I'm just saying, like hypothetically, who do you think would be behind it if something like this genuinely happened?
Yeah, I don't know if the refs was. I don't know if it was anything to do promotion. I think the ref might have just panicked.
It was
just
too
a slight minute.
competitive of a fight. I think it was, It's the same way that you would have to look at an umpire in baseball. They know the rules. They make mistakes. And that's what I think it was. And I was going to say, do you think that event was as egregious as the Daniel Dubois knockdown of Usyk? Like that was a clear knockdown. That wasn't he called it low.
Or Tyson
but
versus
was that,
Paul?
But can we say that was cheating? Because if Daniel Dubois lands that knockdown, and, that time that they gave him, allowed him to recover, like Usyk was legit hurt. So you let that go on, Daniel Dubois possibly could win that fight. And I didn't look at that as like, the promotion was, against Daniel Dubois or the sport is against him. Right. I think it was just a bad call from the ref. But it happens.
That was a borderline punch, but what happened with Tyson Fury about to get knocked out in the corner in the 9th round was egregious. Okay, it was.
And Fury is the Undertaker, so even if he did knock him down, he was getting back up. I mean, come on.
He was really. I don't know about that.
He might not have got up.
Yeah, because you remember he took like 15.
He took Deontay Wilder take 3 vertebrae out this man's neck, drop him on the canvas, and he rose.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
And he rose. Like Tyson Fury gets up.
So.
He do. I can't front.
Okay.
You can't.
So you remember the knockdown from the Wilder fight where he was on his back and then referee was counting and his eyes wasn't open. So do you feel like that was a time where you could be like, hey man, I don't know if it's fixed or what?
Listen, a lot of stands get mad when they gotta lose every intricate detail it gets under the microscope. I don't think that there was a long count. I don't think that there was any type of controversy because, I mean, what in that fight, what did it like? Deontay Wilder was the man. Tyson Fury was coming off of, he had a mental layoff. It was like cheating. What is cheating Wilder? It's nothing to do. Like, it was amazing that he got up. And then when he got up, he whooped Wilder's ass. Yeah. Like that's what I'm telling people. I'm like, come on. We have to, a lot of people, because of the Ngannou fight, they are very down on Tyson Fury. You have to look at this man's career and his body of work. And I understand, you see the 7 knockdowns and you say, okay, this guy doesn't have a chin. But it's like what he does after you knock him down. Like, he's capable of getting off the canvas after getting knocked down and still taking a round from you.
That's definitely the best fighter I've seen, like, after a knockout. Like, because I've seen him knocked down a few times, and he
gets up and it's like,
I got to give him credit on that.
I'm about to kick your ass for doing that.
Because most people, when they get knocked down, it's go time. It changes
the course of the fight.
It changes
and
the
so
fight.
That's what I was telling Adi because, me and Adi have argued about this a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I still think it was going to be a competitive fight after that round. That was a great round, and I think that round won Usyk the fight.
But I think that round,
but to say that he was going to stop him,
what it does is it casts a shadow on the 6th round, though. That's my point. The 6th round, Tyson Fury was playing around. He should have finished him. And he said in the interview, he said he's going to stop all the goofing around stuff. He's going to stop clowning around in the ring and to become more businesslike. But that's what he was supposed to do after his close split decision victory over Francis Ngannou.
You thought he learned.
Right. But I think it's a part of him like Sweet Pea Whitaker, Ali, Roy Jones. They always playing around the ring. They're entertaining. They're very entertaining. They're showmen. Yeah. So I don't think Fury can take that out of him. He going to have to stay true to himself. But I think it's more about him playing around too much. Usyk's not the one to play with.
No.
No. Well, I think sometimes when they do that, it's also a show of, it's many reasons why a fighter would do that to showboat. Like, it's one of them is obviously they're confident, and then the other one is possibly they're tired. They need to get their arms a break. So let me create some space, and you know what I'm saying, shake it off.
And I mean,
so it's cool. It's different motives. It's different motives. I'm saying though.
Fighters don't just fill up Wembley. Like, they have to sell themselves, and that's what he does. But I totally agree. That because I was yelling at the TV, like, what are you doing? Why are you playing with this man? Mm-hmm. Like, Usyk is just not a fighter that you want to get in there and play with him. And because you putting your hand behind his back and he's already tagging you. And that's why I was screaming at the TV, like, he's already hitting you with the left. Like, what are you doing? Right. You inviting him to hit you again? Like, come on, man.
Right. Make sure y'all go on Spectator Sporting on YouTube page, subscribe to that page, like the page, leave comments. We will respond. Let's talk about this hard from Oleksandr Usyk's point of view. Point of view. Okay. Usyk coming in off victorious, got the 12-round split decision in the last fight. So you just talked. The Gypsy King is out. He coming back. He's ready. He's ready to go. Man. How does Usyk approach this fight, and how does he stay and go 2-0 against the Gypsy King?
Okay, well, going based off of the decision and the points. That tells Usyk that was a razor-thin decision that he won. So what that means is you got to come back. You got to train harder. You got to think outside the box, because if you bring the same toolbox that you brought last time, who's to say he ain't bringing? Fury's not bringing more tools. Right. So right now, what I would, man, they're both working hard. Right. They both know what's at stake. Let's not forget, it's not just a fight. This is all the belts. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Not all of, Dubois has the IBF.
Yeah, well, I mean, aside from that. Yeah. But there's a lot at stake. And then let's not forget Usyk already beat Dubois, So that was a technicality. So that's another fight that everybody wants to see. But, man, I know they're both dotting every I and crossing every T. You got to, especially right now. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I listen. I think he's going to be ready because of what you said, because he barely won that fight. Right. So when you barely won and like, man, I could have lost that.
Right.
It's going to give you a whole different focus, a mindset. Like, I don't want it to try not to make it as close this time. I want to beat him soundly. So I think he is going to be focused and ready.
You know what? I was thinking about it the other day. And I was like, man, I wonder who they're sparring with. You know what I mean? Because you also got, as being top of the food chain, you never know when you could end up in there against the person that's helping you prepare for someone else.
That's a good thing. I have to look into that. Who are they sparring with?
You never know. Dubois might be out there sparring with Usyk or whoever. You know what I mean?
Some tall, big.
Coley or something.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a good point. But yeah, I feel like Usyk is gonna be ready. I think Fury is gonna be ready. I think Usyk is gonna be just as ready. Byron.
Yes.
Usyk. Trying to remain perfect. Trying to go to 23-0.
Yes.
How did he gonna maintain
what I will
that?
say is I was thoroughly impressed by Usyk and how he kind of worked himself over a couple mountains in that fight, stayed consistent. He fought on the inside. I think is just about as perfect. Like if there was a blueprint for a 6'3" person to fight a 7-footer, there you have it. Like I thought it was great, but I think to win this fight, he has to have a more consistent jab. Like in this fight, he really didn't set up his offense coming in, but I think what helped him was Fury backed up. Like the whole first quarter of this fight, he was just on his back foot. And I think that kind of played into Usyk's offense. But I thought if he set up his shots coming in a lot better, he would have been a lot more effective. And it wouldn't been so much, kind of back and forth in the middle of that fight. So for Usyk to win this fight, I think he has to be a little more leaning on his jab to get on the inside. And because the jab from Fury is coming, it's going to come. But I think he needs to kind of set up his shots to get on the inside and to get his big left and to try to, get to Fury's body. And I think if he does that, then, he's going to have, Usyk is going to have, he's going to be Usyk. He's going to be tough. He's going to be hard to get out. It's going to be hard to put a jab on him. But he has to kind of set up his shots to get on the inside. Like if there was one thing I could look at from the first fight and say, you have to change this going in, it's just setting up his shots. But when he got on the inside, he had his way. So it's just it was a lot more that Fury needs to change as opposed to what Usyk needs to do. I think Usyk needs to kind of get in there, fill out what Fury's going to do, and I think that's how he approaches the fight. If you look at him, it doesn't look like a set game plan with him. You know what I'm saying? He kind of stalks around. He keeps his movement, and he's fighting a 7-footer. It's like looking at Holyfield. You got a light heavy coming up to the heavyweight division. Yeah. So he has to work his way to get in on these big guys, but he's just so good at doing it. And it's like it's not that much that he needs to improve to be successful in this fight.
Yeah.
No, I feel you absolutely. Usyk, Adi.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Usyk. 22-0, 14 knockouts. What's like going into trying to repeat and beat Tyson the Gypsy King, one of the best fighters ever. How does he beat the Gypsy King twice?
Yeah, 2 times.
Yeah.
Oleksandr Usyk has been hurt and in trouble in each of his last 3 fights, okay? Yeah. In the rematch against Anthony Joshua, Joshua had Usyk hurt and on the run in the 9th round of that fight, delivering several combinations and body shots. But just like Tyson Fury, Joshua could not finish him, okay? And he was shut out in the last 3 rounds. AJ ran out of gas, and he ended up losing by split decision. And Daniel Dubois, Byron talked about that earlier, he delivered a lot of pain to Usyk with a body shot and knocked Usyk down, but the referee said it was a low blow. It looked legal, kind of borderline.
Oh, it was legal.
Yeah, and Usyk was in pain, all right? But he got up and ended up knocking out Daniel Dubois. And then in the last fight, like I talked about, in the 6th round, those uppercuts from Fury had Usyk stunned and wobbling, and luckily for Usyk, Tyson Fury didn't go in for the kill. I believe those first 7 rounds, Fury pretty much was dominating the fight. He was licking out his tongue and doing all kind of goofy stuff. He was arrogant. He thought he had that fight in the bag. Actually, watching the fight, I'm like, damn, my prediction was wrong. I think Usyk going to lose because first 7 rounds, Fury was looking like, damn, that 6'9" versus 6'3" thing is coming into play.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But so turns out Usyk, just like Fury, he has that Wolverine-like quick healing ability. Just like him.
These guys are incredible. How they could take punishment like that and keep going. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. But Oleksandr Usyk, he must learn to punch his way out the clinch because, like Byron was saying, that Fury is going to be bigger and try to do all this holding, tap into that dirty boxing, pushing, holding. Yep. So what Usyk need to do is punch his way out the clinch. I seen him do it before. You trying to clinch him, he's scoring. He's punching and everything.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he should make him pay for getting too close to the smaller man. Because if you trying to hold him clinches, man, that means you too close to a smaller man.
Right.
So now you in his territory. Okay. So
where you want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Now Usyk will be 38 years old next month. So this may be his last fight. But
well, how old is Fury?
Fury is 36.
36. So
It's 36.
they both have been in some wars. Some wars.
But I think Fury a little bit more than Usyk as far as the wear and tear.
You know what?
That's key.
I disagree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Usyk has came up from, was it cruiserweight, light heavy?
Yeah.
And he was undisputed at cruiserweight, was he not?
Yes, he was.
Hey man, we ain't talking about no regular, excuse my language, we ain't talking about no regular motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? No, y'all, we got to give Usyk his respect.
No, I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him.
And we got to give Tyson Fury his respect also. But here's
give it to him.
here's the difference in my opinion, right? So you got Usyk who moved up from cruiserweight, and the wear and tear on his body from having to make that weight, you know, to having to go to move up to heavyweight, that has, you know, its own effect on the body. And then you also got to keep in mind that he's getting hit with punches from bigger men now.
Yeah.
So that in itself is, you know, a cumulative damage that's
And he's
coming.
been hurt. And he's been hurt.
And he's
Joshua
been-
hurt him.
and
Dubois
he's
hurt
been
him.
hurt.
And Fury hurt.
He's getting
Everybody
hurt.
hurts him.
Look at these guys. Joshua is no.
These are big guys.
They're huge.
Man.
They're huge.
Man, so it's like, I think out of the both, I think Usyk is the one that got the most damage.
Okay.
I think Fury would be the most fresher one because of the weight. You're able to absorb more punishment with the weight versus being a little guy and getting touched right on those ribs and stuff like that. But overall, man, I got Fury winning this shit.
Okay, hold on. Let's hold on.
Hey, you wanna skip it? I think let's skip it.
I know
Go
you
ahead.
ready. I know you ready. Hey, you're watching Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roselock, my partner Ali Wally. Hardboard bangers. Byron. We'll be back. Yo, welcome back to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Ali Wally. We got Hard War Bangers in the building. We got Byron in the building. We talking about boxing, and we talking about a big-time heavyweight matchup. Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury against Oleksandr Usyk. I mean, part 2. Part 1 was already classic. We kind of broke down both fighters. Now it's time for the good part, the predictions. Because this fight, honestly, can go any way. Like, I can't be mad. If someone picks one or the other, I can't be mad at them. So, Adi, I'm going to start with you. How do you see this fight playing out?
Well, last time I checked, the Gypsy King was a plus 150 through 140 underdog. So if you bet $100 on Fury and he wins, you win $150, somewhere between 140 and 150. Okay, but Tyson Fury cannot afford to get knocked down, rise up, finish the fight, and expect to win this fight. Now, he got he's the Undertaker. He always rises up from a knockdown. He got away with that going against Deontay Wilder because only way Wilder can win a round is if he knocks you down, okay? He got away with that going against Francis Ngannou, who's a novice. But Oleksandr Usyk knows how to win rounds. And you cannot give him a 10-8 round. You're going to lose the fight. So, but Usyk is so crafty and sudden. Seconds before he bloodied Tyson Fury's nose, Usyk was throwing this faint southpaw jab and followed it up with an overhand left and bloody his nose. And that was the punch that really changed the fight in that 8th round. And then in the 9th round, seconds before Usyk made Fury start rumbling and stumbling all over the ring and all over the ropes, seconds before that, Fury was delivering a combination to Usyk's body, but Usyk all of a sudden caught him with a vicious left hook to cause all that turmoil and all that almost getting knocked out in the 9th round, okay? So this time, I don't think the refs can save Tyson Fury. I have Usyk winning by the 8th round knockout.
What? I love it.
Blasphemy.
I love it. Hey,
Absolute blasphemy.
a knockout?
He's going to knock him out.
Knockout. Byron.
Yes, thank you for
Byron. You heard Adi over here.
Right after
He
that
said,
nonsense.
he said the Gypsy King will be knocked out. Do you agree with Adi?
Adi has had a stressful day, taking it out on his predictions. Let me tell you something. I brought
want to bet against Adi.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
take
we
that
need
bet,
to.
by the
I
way.
brought up Wilder and Fury for a reason, because this fight kind of felt like the energy felt the same. Going into that fight, a lot of people, a lot of stands who watched Deontay Wilder do what he do.
You said stands?
Yeah, I said stands.
All right, just
I'm
want to make
addressing
sure everybody
stands.
is stands. All right.
But the
Byron always going to
standum,
address the stand.
the standum.
They always.
But there was a lot of standing behind Deontay Wilder. And after that fight, it was a draw. Fury was not happy with the result, obviously. And his energy changed from this happy-go-lucky type of guy. And he was just, to quote him, I'm going to knock the dozer out. I'm going to knock him out. And after this fight, watching this fight, if you listen to a lot of people talk about this fight, they'll make it seem like it was a very dominant fight for Usyk, and it was not. This was not a dominant win. This was a split decision win. And watching that fight and knowing the adjustments that I've seen Fury make in his career, coming off of, a draw isn't a loss, but he took it as a loss. And the energy that he brought into the next fight, I think it's a trap that he's an underdog in this fight. Because
of
a heavier Fury in this fight is a better fighter for this fight.
Well,
And he said it. He said that I'm coming into this fight, I'm going to be bigger. And I believe that, his camp, they saw that him being bigger and him bullying this guy is the way to go. Because this is not a fight that you should, plan out to be a 12-round war. And that's just my opinion. And I think, and there are the adjustments that I think that Fury needs to make in this fight. I think he needs to lean on the jab. I brought it up. The first fight, 30 jabs, first 3 rounds, 30 jabs. And then he tailed off. Didn't try to put the jab on Usyk on a consistent basis. Allow Usyk to walk him down. That created way more opportunities for Usyk. And, the fight played out how it played out. Fury had great rounds, but, he didn't have the stamina to last to the end of the fight. Usyk had the clearest round, a 10-8 round in the fight, which I think ultimately won him the fight.
Yeah.
But this fight is going to be different. This fight is going to be different because Fury is going to come into this fight 270, 277. And when he does,
Are you predicting his weight?
well, he came in.
I mean,
he
that's
came
what
in
he's
at
doing,
262. He came in at 262 in the first
That'd
fight.
be amazing if he
And he
Put
said,
that on FanDuel.
no, and he said, I'm coming in bigger.
Okay.
So if you come in at 262, and I'm going by the Wilder fight. That's what I'm saying. I'm comparing those. I'm comparing Wilder 2 and I'm comparing Fury Usyk 2.
Well,
and he
hold on.
came into that fight at 277.
So since you're comparing people, right? And obviously there's a weight differential because we got Usyk fighting against a bigger man, which is Fury, who you're saying is going to come in overweight. He's taller than
Not
him.
overweight, but I think 277 is a fighting
He's
weight.
coming
for him.
in heavier than
Yeah.
Usyk. So, all right, and you're picking Usyk to win, correct?
No.
No.
No, you
Let me cook.
Okay.
Let me
Well,
cook.
before you get there, hold on.
Let me cook.
Well,
Let me
but hold
cook.
on,
Let
I
me
got
cook
one
for
small
1 second.
snippet.
Go ahead.
One small thing. All right, so with Tank Davis, can you guys see a parallel between him and Usyk?
No.
Everybody that Usyk fights is taller than him.
Right.
Everyone that Tank fights is taller than him.
Okay.
Is that a good
That's a fair analogy.
Short guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I can see
All
what
right.
he. Yeah.
I don't want to sully this fight by mentioning Armored Jeep. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll let you go. Go ahead. I'll bring it up.
Fury is coming into this fight, and he will be the bigger man. Not just with height, but he's coming into this fight to be 30 to 40 pounds bigger than Usyk. And that means that Fury is not going to be the dancing Gypsy King. He's going to sit down on his punches. He's going to invite him in on the inside. He's going to make this a dirty boxing match. And Usyk is getting his ass knocked out in the 10th round.
Ooh, I love it.
And the thing is, I do agree with Adi. This fight will not go 12. And I think with the adjustments that both fighters are going to make, they're going to just put it all out there. And if these fighters put it all out there, I'm going with the 6'9" guy with the reach and the guy who I've actually watched dispatch a known heavyweight champion. You know,
Who is that, by the way?
that was Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
You know, so Fury has I think Fury is the king of the heavyweights. And although this was a great fight that Usyk fought in the first fight, you know, it's still a cruiserweight moving up to the heavyweight division. This division, in my opinion, and yes, this is the Byron Stanich for Tyson Fury, he should be the king of this heavyweight division, and he will be the damn king of this heavyweight division after this second fight because he knocking Usyk ass out in the 10th round. There you go.
Man,
Hard.
say it like you mean it.
Like I mean it with my chest.
Hey.
10th round KO.
But he's-
And I'm feeling real Spence versus Crawford-ish because
Hold
I
on.
predicted that one.
Hold on, I got you. Let Harv.
Yeah.
Step in.
All right.
I need your prediction.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get it off your chest. You seem like you got a lot to say over there.
Let it
Let
go.
Let it out.
I do. Okay. So, Adi, let me start with Adi first. I'm going to go down the row. Adi, you picked Usyk by KO in the 8th round. Is that correct?
Yes.
I disagree with you. And Byron, you picked Fury by round 10. KO by round 10. Okay.
KO 10.
I disagree with you, but I agree on the winner. I see Fury coming in, and he's going to come in here smart. He's coming in here to win. He's not coming in here to showboat. He's not coming in here to impress. It will be a very ugly fight, but Fury's coming in here to win.
Okay.
All right? Make no mistake. He's coming in here. He's coming here to edge. He's coming in here to barely outland. He's going to make it a very tough fight for Usyk. And I don't mean tough as where he's coming in throwing stupid punches. He's going to make it tough where he's going to make it hard for Usyk to get in. He's going to move.
Okay.
He's going to frustrate. And then once he has Usyk frustrated, Fury got it. I got Fury. Decision. Unanimous.
I like, okay.
You know, no, I don't see it.
And
Even,
it's-
I don't
and-
see
and
it
here's the
even getting
thing.
to a point where any hard punches will be landed because Fury is so intelligent when it comes to fighting like that.
This fight could very well end in a decision. Both of these competitors are A+.
the last one,
You know what I'm saying? And this is and this is a shot at the American boxing anything. Like we are watching a fight with 2 A+ fighters who have 2 A+ skill sets that can very well get to a decision.
Go ahead.
But you know, to disagree with your point, a heavier Fury, when Fury puts on weight, he's not putting on weight to get a decision. He's putting on weight to knock your ass out.
Okay.
And he is going to knock out Usyk.
Here's my rebuttal to that. Tank Davis has these clause in his contract so that these fighters don't come in heavier than him.
Rehydration clause.
Right. So that he can't get knocked out. Correct? Is that? I mean, is that?
I don't know what.
That's
I
how
mean,
they
listen,
do it.
I'm just saying
Canelo does that too.
opinionated. I'm
Canelo
saying
does that too.
just to be opinionated.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on
My opinion of
Tank Davis?
of Armored Jeep Davis is please stay tuned to Spectator Sports for the Lamont Roach and Javante
that.
Little Jeep preview show because I, the Byroness, shall make the Tank stands very, very upset.
I think my cousin might be able to. No, I'm just kidding.
But
And I want your cousin to win that fight very much. And
I brought it up. I brought it up to
I don't
say
think it's gonna happen.
that Tank is Well, he's trying to retire by next year, right? And I hate to like just drag him in here, but I don't have a choice, right? I mean, everyone wants.
It's a very relevant story.
Right,
it's a very relevant
So
story.
he's fighting Lamont Roach, and that's for 2025. How many fights do you think he has left in 2025?
I mean, he said
one more, maybe one more.
he wants to fight Ryan Davis. So I think that shows
Ryan Garcia.
Oh, Ryan Garcia. I'm sorry, Ryan Garcia. Why did I say Ryan Davis? That's a comedian. But anyway, Lion Garcia, who is one of Adi's favorite fighters, but I think it speaks to the caliber of champion you are when you have to call out or in your, what is it? The final year of your career, you want to spin the block on a guy that you dominated. And I think that sums up Armored Jeep Davis as a whole.
We're going to give him a whole show.
And he's getting a whole show. And please tune in, and you will not like me after it.
All right, I had cut you off. What was you? I know you had some stuff to say.
Okay, I have a problem with this, how Fury bounced back against Wilder. Little analogy comparison.
Okay.
Because Wilder is a skinny heavyweight. When Fury fought Wilder the first time, Wilder's about 6'4", 6'5". He was 212.
Yeah.
He's a skinny heavyweight. That's why Fury knew all he had to do was bulk up a lot more and push his skinny stuff around. And he's a one-trick pony. Usyk is very technical, highly intelligent, very crafty. He's very deceptive. So
he's 6'3".
But Steve Cunningham was 6'3", and he knocked down
This
Fury.
is what I'm saying.
And Fury got knocked down against Francis Ngannou. Fury, he cannot afford to get knocked down. He gets knocked down a lot. I'm not saying he won't get knocked out, but if he gets knocked down, he's going to lose.
Well, let's stop. This is another thing. Let's stop with this damn Wilder shade. Like, Wilder was the scariest heavyweight in the heavyweight division. Nobody wanted smoke with him.
He was
Bacoli.
He had a moment.
He was Bacoli. Nobody wanted smoke with him.
He had more than a moment because he was calling out Joshua for years.
And the thing is, let's stop with this shade. Like, Tyson Fury didn't fight 3 fights against the baddest man in the heavyweight division. Oh, he did.
With a lot of controversy.
And I talked about Wilder's legs, the skinniest legs I've ever seen on a heavyweight in my life. But he had thunder. But he had power.
You know what?
And it was a hard 3-fight series. Like that was a great trilogy.
I agree with Adi. Man, listen, that dude is 212 pounds, 6'4".
But I understand
Do you know
that.
how skinny he is?
I understand
that's
that.
paper.
But
I'm
we're
5'9". I'm
talking about
175
we're
pounds.
still
He only
talking about.
weighed.
He's not going to be able to push Usyk around. He's not going to be able to bully Usyk around like that.
Usyk is 230. He's still 230.
He's not gonna be able to
you
bully
still
him,
fighting a
He's too
guy.
tough. I
You
mean-
still fighting a guy with a way longer reach. Because Deontay Wilder had a reach to counteract Fury.
Wilder was a one-trick pony, man. He was
But
a one-trick
Usyk
pony.
doesn't. Yeah. Usyk does not have that reach.
Well, listen, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my pick. Listen.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
All right, I got. You know what? I agree with Harv on the decision, but I think the decision is going to Usyk. I'm gonna go with Usyk with the 12th round decision. I just feel like Adi brought it up. I feel like Fury has got knocked down a lot, and it's just only. Listen. He's been like you say. He rolls up like the like the Undertaker for real. But like it's only so many times you're gonna be able to keep doing that and taking those knockdowns. And I think I don't know if it's gonna be a knockdown in this fight, but I feel like Usyk in the long run, as the fight goes on, I feel like he'll get stronger towards the end. He'll win the later rounds and get it. And I got
there won't be any later rounds.
I got a 12th round decision. You've been watching Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally.
Hard War Bangers.
Yep, Hard War Bangers. Byron. Make sure y'all go on Spectator Sporting YouTube page. Subscribe to that page. We're also on Spotify. Subscribe. In the meantime, in between time, we out. Peace.